All right. I got it set up.
All right, guys. Welcome to this month's edition of Health Talk with the Mott.
What's up, guys? If you notice, we are on a new day, and so we will be moving to Wednesdays for our Health Talk with the Motts. I'm trying to get rid of these notifications. Oh, there we go. So we're moving to Wednesdays.
Yep, instead of Thursdays.
Due to some scheduling changes, and so we're looking forward to engaging with new people as more become available on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how the dynamics.
Yeah. So, first of all, welcome everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. And what are we talking about on this one?
So I'm actually really excited about this one, only because I think this is probably one of the most powerful ones for me, only because I used to honestly believe that it was normal not to be able to breathe. I did. I legit thought that that was just the way my body was, and I just, when the seasons changed. I love spring, I love flowers, I love gardening, but I already knew that when I got out there in my garden, when I get back, I was going to be sick. I was not going to be able to function. I probably wouldn't be able to go anywhere for a day or two because just my system was that bad. And I thought that was normal. I really, really, really thought that was normal.
I thought it was weird that you thought it was normal. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, why do you keep making this noise? She would have this, little noise that she would make, but you were struggling.
Every single morning. When people tell me, they're like, oh yeah, I have seasonal, and I'm like, seasonal? I'm like, oh, so there's times of the year that you can breathe. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was that bad. But you don't have as much of an issue now, right?
No.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes that Dana has made and implemented. We're going to share some experiences and knowledge with you guys to maybe help one of you who may be struggling with this time of year, especially as the weather seems to be changing and be all over the place because it is Michigan. And if you're not in Michigan, well,
the weather's been crazy. Yeah. Other place, I was talking to somebody, in New Mexico, and it was it's raining. It's crazy. The weather's been crazy.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to help. So we're going to talk a little bit about dealing with seasonal discomforts, trying to breathe a little bit better, some of the things that you can do inside your household, and some of the changes you can make to make that a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So why don't you get us started?
So I want to start here at this place because I think this is so important. Reactions occur when the body wrongly defends itself against something that is dangerous. A healthy immune system defends against invading bacteria and viruses. During reactions, however, the immune system fights harmless materials. Focus on a strong immune system and it will increase your probability of making it untouched through the changing season. The reason I wanted to start there is because I think that is so vitally important. Your body is created to fight. So whatever it is...
life.
Yeah, right. So whatever it is coming into your systems, it is created, because sometimes we get super weird about symptoms. We're like, oh my goodness, I sneezed. Oh, I coughed. That is a great thing. That means your body is working the way it's supposed to, and it's there's something that shouldn't be here. Let me get rid of it. Right? So sneeze it out, blow it out. The worst thing we can do, and unfortunately a lot of the different medicines that I would take previously, it would be to keep everything dried up. Well, now the body's not going to respond and act the way it's supposed to.
Well, and then it's got to play catch up too, because now you have all of these pollutants or things that's not supposed to be in the body. The body normally tries to get rid of it, and instead it's staying around, and you're dealing more so with the symptom itself. So we've talked about that on this channel before. That's kind of the philosophy of Western medicine, is it's let's deal with the symptoms and not the real issue. So we want to deal with the real issue,
right. And so I say that to say this. So the reality is, again, just let's say you have a muscle that you stop using, what's going to happen to that muscle at some point, right? It's not going to be as strong, and it's not going to have the same reaction as it used to. So the same thing with your immune response. If you keep using items that are working for it instead of allowing it to work, at some point your body's going to be like, oh, I'm not needed. Like, there's no reason for me to keep producing mucus. There's no reason for me to keep fighting this off. There's no reason for me to do these things anymore. So we don't want to break our systems by, unfortunately, introducing things that are doing it for it when it can naturally do it on its own. Now, granted, are there times when the system and the things just get too broken where you're not able to be able to fix that? Absolutely. And that's a whole different scenario. But what we're talking about is when you have responses and you can fight it off, that is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to close the door real quick. But yeah, speaking to that point a little bit, yeah, a lot of it too is understanding what's causing it. So before we get into some of the tips and dealing with it, I mean, that's really what you need to understand. If you are struggling with things such as allergies, like understanding what are you allergic to? Is it pollen? Is it dust? Is it, some people have food allergies. Like, what is it specifically that's causing you to have a reaction so that you can, number one, know to avoid it, but also learn how to counteract the effects. Mm-hmm. So I would say start there. So we want to move into tips?
Yeah, so a few tips. So I think it's always interesting to, people check the weather, right? And, well, what am I going to wear today? You want to, during this time of year, check pollen, right? Check the pollen count just like you would the weather. So that way you know, okay, is this going to be a day that I might have allergen reaction more because it's higher or less because it's lower? The other big thing to take and keep in mind is that pollen counts are the highest between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. So this is a period of time that you might not necessarily need to be out. Then don't, right? Because again, the body is reacting the way it's supposed to. Also for me, like I think about, like I was speaking of, I love gardening. I love being outside. So you might want to wear a mask. You might want to, if you know that I need to cut the grass or I'm going to be outside, maybe wear something to protect yourself.
Yeah. And then along with that note, also remember that what you're exposed to outside, you're likely to bring into the house. So quick tip about that, like if you've been outside and you know that there's pollen, there's dust, there's all other kinds of allergens or whatever, a couple things. Take off your shoes at the door so that you don't track it through the house. But the other thing is change your clothes, because that pollen that's in the air or whatever you've come into contact usually gets on our clothes, it gets on our skin. So maybe if you're very sensitive to that, take those clothes off immediately when you come home. Maybe take a shower early as possible so that you can remove those things and kind of create a safe haven in your household if you know you're going to be dealing with those kinds of exposures. So that's another thing that you can do as well.
Yeah, and then just to add to that, so I know for me, my eyelashes. So
really?
Yeah, because when I used to have responses, because fortunately I don't have any anymore, my eyes, I would always complain about my itchy eyes. They burn, itchy, burn, itchy, burn. A lot of times too, some of the pollen and some of those buildups can get on your lashes, and then those get into your eyes, and then you have reactions as well.
Should you start washing your eyelashes out?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that. That's weird.
Women do it all the time when they take off mascara.
I didn't know that. Okay. Hey, the more you know. I'm learning. Yeah, so let's see. So we talked about outdoor. Mm-hmm. What about allergens inside the house?
So really, the allergens in your home are so much more important to take a look at than the outside ones. The reality is what we are exposed to in our homes, in general, are going to be more, our body's going to have more reactions to that than anything else. So indoor allergens weaken the immune response. When the body is working to fight with a weakened immune system, it cannot fight effectively. again, the body is smart. Like, sometimes we don't give the body credit for all that it's capable of functioning to do. But what happens is, if, let's say, your body is already fighting with, and we'll name some of the allergens in the indoors, but let's say, for instance, like bleach. Okay, I'll just put that out there. If you have any type of asthmatic responses, any type of sinus issues, if you get migraines, like, bleach should not even be in your home. Like, don't wash your home with it. Don't wash your clothes with it. Bleach should be just deleted, period. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, but let's say your body is always trying to fight off because it's used to having bleach around it. Now, it only has a certain level of fight in it, right? But let's say it's using this much to fight off that. Now it's not going to have what it needs to fight off when you go outside to the pollen.
Right.
Or when you go out to the other things, right? So if we can minimize or eliminate some of those just common allergens that are doing nothing more than hurting our bodies anyways, then our immune response is going to be that much stronger. So avoid any ingredients in your home that is directly linked to allergies or respiratory issues. Check cleaning products, body care, laundry detergent, perfumes, etc., just to name a few. Look on the ingredients. If you flip that label over and you put it in the Google search bar, like, it will tell you known allergen. It will tell you causes respiratory issues. Like, so I know for me, when we were trying to figure out everything with my Dayton, I was told that my son was going to be on breathing treatments for the rest of his life, that he was asthmatic, his eczema he was gonna have to take hydrocortisone his whole life. Like, that was just the way he is. Deal with it. And I was like, no, he is not. We will not come back to you, and I will figure it out, right? So the first thing I did was eliminate anything in my home that was linked to allergies or asthma. Anything. It didn't matter. Like, if we have to smell nothing, we will smell nothing, because I'm like, I am not about to pump my child with steroids and all this other stuff, and he's a baby. There's no way.
Well, and this is what I was going to say earlier. In addition to that, like, when you first started making those changes, like, I still clean with bleach. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how I grew up. I'm like, it's not clean if it's not bleach. And it's funny that we didn't even connect, or at least I didn't connect the two, that was what was part of causing so many issues for you. Mm-hmm. Was the fact that, like, whenever I would clean the house, like, we have, like, the guest bathroom is right by the door. Like, as soon as you would walk in, if you smelled like the guest bathroom had just been cleaned, like, you would immediately start having issues. Yeah.
You know. And respiratory responses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I say that to say, like, listen to your body, because, you know, sometimes we make those sacrifices because we're like, I just want, like, for me, it was, I just want this to be clean. Like, it's not, in my head, it's not clean unless it's bleached, which is really not true. There are other alternatives, and
it actually disinfects and gets cleaner better.
So we have to kind of change the mindset where we're like, I'll just sacrifice my health for this feeling of feeling like this is helping, even though it's not. Mm-hmm. So if you're using something that has, like, fragrances that are known to cause irritations to, like, your respiratory system, or things like bleach, formaldehyde, toluene, things like that, and they're in the products that you're using, like, make that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like, give that up and find a healthier alternative, because you're going to feel so much better. Like, for you, it was like night and day once we stopped cleaning with bleach. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, oh, we can all sleep, because now you won't be all night.
And the reality is, it's so much cheaper, too. Yeah, I'm like, it's so much more cost effective not to have 5 million different cleaning solutions, you know, and you can just replace it with maybe one.
Yeah. So definitely do that. I want to talk a little bit, too, about our diet, because that's actually very important as well. Actually, a lot of the foods that we eat can be linked to, they can be mucus producing. So that's something to keep in mind. The foods that you eat, they can either increase or decrease mucus. And obviously, if you're already having some kind of issue going on, you probably want to decrease your mucus production, so that you're not sniffly and sneezing and looking like the dirty kid that's got the snot string running down his nose, you know. So some of the foods that can help you, you have red meat. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my steak and burger as much as the next person, but even if you're like me, just try to limit it. Maybe don't eat a burger every single day. That's not good for you anyway, but you know.
Or the other thing I'll add to that is, because again, everybody's body is a little bit unique. So this is a list of general things, but you might be okay with it, but the next person might not be, right? But the other thing is, if you know, like, hey, I'm going to be eating this red meat, then you can prepare your body with extra enzymes. You can prepare yourself beforehand, because then you build a better environment to be able to fight it off, because you already know that your system's going to be weaker.
Right. So in addition to that, you have milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream. So pretty much any dairy product. Butter, eggs, soy, corn and corn products, and processed sugar. So one thing you are seeing more and more is you're seeing more products that are soy-free in the market, just because most of it is genetically modified. It's not like organic or real soy. And so a lot of people are developing allergies to those kinds of products. So just something to be aware of. And then, like I mentioned, most of what we mentioned are dairy products. So if you can make some of those changes, like if they do bother you and it's producing more mucus, just change to a healthier alternative that maybe is dairy free, to try to make a difference, you know, try to make it a little bit better. Obviously processed sugar, they've been saying for years that processed sugar is not good for us. I mean, I'm not gonna marinate on that too much, but it is in a lot of the foods that we take in. So one thing that you guys hear us talk about a lot on these talks when we talk about like healthy eating and diets is try preparing your meals more so than eating out, because then you now have control over what comes in and out of your body. So Dana can testify to this. Like, I love to eat out, but it's not always, number one, good for us to eat out all the time, and number two, it's usually not cost effective. So we've gotten a habit of preparing meals that are not only delicious and that we would like to eat at a restaurant, but sometimes we'll make a healthy alternative or switch things out. We have a little bit more control about what we're putting in our body.
Food is fun. Like, don't be miserable.
It's an experience.
Right? Yeah, like, I love food, okay? Like, I'm going to take that healthy. I'm not just eating carrots and lettuce, okay? I'm going
to just tell you, the funny thing about food is there's only two things that make people dance. One of them is music and the other is food. And it don't matter who it is, but you will see, like, people, when they get something good, most women start doing the good food dance, which like this, you know. Doesn't matter, across the board, I always see, it's so good. So just be aware of what you're putting in your body.
Absolutely.
Try to decrease those or kind of monitor them and see how they affect your body.
It is linked to the subject matter we're talking about.
Yeah.
It is so crucially important.
Don't believe me? Research it.
Right. That was the second thing that I did to address my son's issues. And again, my son has had one breathing treatment in 5 years. And this doctor told me that that was going to be his life.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Okay, so on the flip side, though, there are foods that can help to decrease mucus production. So on the flip side, you have salmon, tuna, pumpkin, grapefruit, pineapple, celery, pickles, onion, garlic, raw honey, ginger, and what seems to be all the rave nowadays, bone broth.
Real quick before you go too far, I do want to just, grapefruit and pineapple, they have some amazing enzymes in them. So again, a lot of times our body's reacting because it doesn't have what it needs to either fight off or to protect. So when you add good digestive enzymes, which we should get in our food, we don't always, but we should get in our food, and you can get some of those through like grapefruit and pineapple and things like that, it's going to assist and be so much more helpful for that system and in that body. And then the other thing I want to talk about is celery. So a lot of people have been hearing about celery juice, right? Why do that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach? Again, we're talking about a lot of the enzymes that are in some of these vegetables. They're going to do amazing things to build up that immune response. They're going to build up enzymes in the body to help fight off everything. It's just going to give you a little bit of extra boost.
Yeah. You mean to tell me? Shoot, I wish I would have known back in the day. I love pickles. I wish I would have known. I would have been eating pickles every single time.
I love pickles.
I need to get rid of mucus. Bread and butter. Everybody knows bread and butter are
Ooh,
life.
No bread and butter. Just regular pickles.
No, bread and butter. We'll let them decide. Put in the comments whether bread and butter pickles or dill pickles are better.
Dill pickles.
I'm telling you, it's all about bread and butter, baby.
Dill.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
We'll see what people say.
Okay. What else can people do in addition to changing their diet, changing exposure to chemicals? Everybody knows that we're a huge advocate for using natural products. A lot of them we either make our own or we incorporate our essential oils into them.
Yes.
So you make a roller ball.
Yes.
That works, or sometimes you make capsules. What do you put in it?
So if this ain't a staple for you, it needs to be these three right here. These three right here. So it's lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Okay? So these three, again, this is all I do. I no longer take any other things to support myself during the changing season. So I carry around a rollerball fitment with those three oils in it. For my kids, we rub it on our forehead, we rub it under our nose, like that. I just have as a staple. Like, you can ask me anytime we're out, I will have it on me. Because there are times, again, where I know I can't change the fact that I'm going to be around pollen. I can't change the fact that somebody's going to be mowing their grass and I'm outside. So I come prepared to give my body just a little bit extra boost. So if you think about some of those oils, so many people, we talk about lavender and some of its relaxing properties. Okay, so lavender is going to be just as relaxing to like your body when you go to sleep as it is to your sinus areas. And most of the time, why are we stuffy? Why can't we breathe, right? Because everything is inflamed. Everything is, so we need to relax all of that, right? And you just think about, like, when you just smell peppermint, it wakes you up, right? It clears everything out, right? You drink peppermint tea and it does some amazing things to clear you out. So again, that three combo is going to really, really help in those areas. But now let's say it's super, super bad and maybe I didn't eat well, maybe I didn't do some of the other things. I will actually then take the Vitality. I don't have the lavender Vitality over here, but peppermint and lemon, you can see those, and I will put them in capsules. So just like you would, like you can buy empty vegetable capsules, I will put those drops in there. I think when we were having a lot of the rain and a lot of stuff going on, I was making capsules for my kids because, again, we just needed just a little bit extra support. And boom, boom, it's great for our systems. Other staple oils that we use is Raven. If I can get it out. I can't get it out.
That boy is in there. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Okay, so Raven is another one, especially for my Dayton, with his respiratory issues. This is great to rub on the chest. This is great to diffuse, put on the bottom of the feet. I will dilute it because it's a little bit strong for him. He's 5. But Raven is another staple that you just want to make sure you have. And then the last one, what we do is we talk a lot about our Ninja Red drink. So Ninja Red has some amazing prebiotics in it. So it's going to, again, support and help any probiotics that we take in, as well as build up that immune system, right? If we have a stronger immune system, that means we are going to be able to fight off certain things. So this time of year, so it's funny because most time of year in the fall season, I will put this beautiful blend of oil thieves in my kids' oatmeal, right? This time of year, I step it up and I put a drop of thieves in their Ninja Red. So they take 2 ounces of Ninja Red every single day with a drop of thieves. Again, all to just completely support their sinuses, completely support their immune response, to be able to support their respiratory. Again, all of those are the oils that I really, really focus on this time of year.
Yeah, and just to add to that really quickly, so you mentioned using a roller ball, you mentioned taking capsules. I feel like this is a common misconception with oils. Like sometimes we might do it once throughout the day, like once a day or something like that. And one thing that we have to realize is even your medications you take 3 to 4 times a day. Yeah. You know, like maybe every 3 to 4 hours or something like that. Oils are no different. Like you have to continuously apply them. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to make yourself a capsule to help kind of relieve some of that inflammation, do it maybe every 3 to 4 hours. Yep. Oil up continuously throughout the day. If you're going to take or use the roller ball throughout the day. And that's what makes it convenient is you mix up a little roller ball, you put it in your pocket, you can take it with you throughout the day. It only takes a quick second to put it on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we stay oily, and that's part of it as well.
And it's so much cheaper because, like, I'm telling you, when I used to have to like buy medicine just to like not be able to breathe still, because that would be the thing. Like, and I would always make that choice. I would be like, do I want to feel like I'm drugged and not breathe, or just not breathe? Like, because this is ridiculous.
Depends on what kind of day you have.
Right. Because it's so expensive. This, like, and like he said, you still have to take it every, 4 hours or 7 hours or whatever it was. And it's like, I missed that 1 hour. And I'm like, oh, that's why I can't breathe again. And, I'm drowsy. So again, when we stay up on it and use the oils, we save so much more money. And, it's so much more convenient and easier.
Yeah. And then we also take supplements in addition to that. So Dana mentioned Ningxia Red, which is an excellent superfood drink, antioxidant drink. Mm-hmm. So we take that every single day. We've talked about it before here on the show. Allerzyme is another one that's made by Young Living.
Allerzyme.
Very good enzyme supplement to support, especially this time of year. Life 9 is Young Living's probiotic that we take. So we've talked about probiotics before, why they're so important to help support your immune system and supporting the overall health and function of the body. So that's great to take. Sulfurzyme is also on there. Alkalyme, I love Alkalyme. It's good for managing the body's pH. pH balance, so that we know that when your pH balance in your body is nice and balanced, everything is operating efficiently as it should. And then they also have a vitamin C supplement called Super C that we take as well. And we know vitamin C, people take that traditionally anytime they get like a sniffle or some type of hint of it. So you want to have those vitamins and minerals as well. I think one other thing that I'll add to there is mineral essence, because everybody's, our vitamins and minerals need to be replaced daily to help support our body. So take minerals as well to help supplement the things that you may or may not be getting from your diet.
And here's the reality, and I just really want to, before we, conclude and wrap up, I just want to talk about that too, because the reality is, yes, you should get everything you possibly can from food. The problem is we don't. Yeah. The problem is because the nutrient level in our soil is not the way it was even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we are not getting the nutrient absorption that we should be doing. So it is imperative that you are supplementing with whole food supplements.
Boom. Mic drop. You said it. So that's it. You got anything else you wanted to say before?
Any comment?
Let me check. Pretty much waved at everybody. No, not as of now.
So I will just actually, before we conclude though, so really some of the oils that we talked about come in the premium starter kit, which is the best way to get started. So we will put a link to our website and how to get started with that as well. And come join us for our in-person classes. So this Sunday we will have our monthly spa party. So we're super excited about that. If I have any peeps out in Toronto, this weekend I'll be in Toronto at a hair show. So it would be awesome to see some familiar faces or meet some new faces as well.
I see somebody in the chat on IG speaks French. I know they speak French in Canada. I don't know if they speak French in Toronto. I don't know if it maybe in the suburbs, but you never know.
Right. And then also your financial literacy.
Oh, so that is going to be Monday. I believe that's the 20th. This Monday, at 7:00. We are doing a financial literacy course. If you are a Young Living member, it is free to you. If you are not, it is a $10 charge. The room fills up pretty quickly. So let me know. Feel free to put it in the chat if that's something that you're interested in, and we'll try to get you signed up for that as well. But other than that, I think that's it, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys for spending time with us here. If you have any questions about anything we discussed tonight, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll try to go back and answer them to the best of our ability. And with that being said, we'll sign out, and we'll see everybody next time. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Thank you.